So hi Tiana, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So to start, WandaVision is one of my favorite things on this planet. I'm a Wanda girly, like through and through.
I love
Like
it.
two for Wanda, like that's my girl. So getting to see Monica, grow from WandaVision, go to the Marvels, and kind of become her own character in the MCU is so cool, especially like after watching her as a kid in that first Captain Marvel movie. For you, what is it like to get to grow a character like that and see her change from being someone who, lost a parent and is struggling to being this hero that's like ready to save the entire universe?
I think what's been really cool about coming into the MCU is having, I got to see Akira's version and her live out who Monica is as a young girl. And then so having that to springboard from, having the comics to come from, and realizing, okay, what is the MCU actually going to put into her story, like what it actually exists in this universe, has been really exciting. I'm learning every time there's a new project. Even after the projects are done, I learn new things, like, oh, I didn't know that was the story. Things like that. But it's been really exciting. It's been really challenging. um just physically to go, from in WandaVision, Monica was still in her sword life. And so that was just a different life than actually becoming a superhero, flying and that sort. And I mean that technically for me, the actor, like trying to embody those things. So that has been an exciting challenge, but really getting to tell her story and craft her arc from being a little girl to going through grief and finding her way through that, and then finding family within these other women. I think it's been really cool and exciting.
Yeah, and I mean, what's exciting for me is with the Marvels, outside of like I love these characters and I had a really fun time with the Marvels, is you are reunited with Nia DaCosta for the second time.
Yes.
What's it like going from working in a horror film that is, you guys reinvented a classic again, and I still won't look and say into mirrors and say his name, to going on something like this where you're on a planet that people sing to get their daily words out.
Right. Very, very different genres, different budgets. um, but what's been great is that Nia still remained easy to talk to, very much a collaborator. And so that has always been at the core of it. And so that was made it an easier transition. I mean, this was both of our first forays into the superhero genre, in the film sense, and in the actual of doing of the thing. So there was a lot of learning, and I think just a lot of grace and patience with each other, as we both, she had a lot more on her plate. I had a lot more on mine. But as I said, at the core, she was still a great collaborator, communicator, and I could go to her with whatever questions or concerns I might have had. And that made it definitely a safe space.
And with the Marvel machine, as you one might call it, because it is such a kind of big thing, what I really have kind of noticed is that actors are the ones who make sure that they're mapping out how a character can get from kind of point A to point B. Thinking especially of like Elizabeth Olsen with uh Multiverse of Madness, where she was like, I had to figure out how my character went from where she was in WandaVision to this. For you, is there like a strategy that you have to making sure that like Monica is consistent throughout all of these different properties that we see her pop up in?
Um, I think, I think the first thing that comes to mind is they have been pretty consistent with who she is and tracking her story. So it hasn't been like crazy leaps for me. I did have to figure out what was happening between Sword and where she shows up in the Marvels with Shield. So but that's normal crafting of a story and a character. There hasn't been anything wild and crazy like with Elizabeth. I'm sure she's in 20 different multiverses and things like that. Like, so I haven't had to do that sort of tracking. But the I would say, standard tracking of where am I emotionally when this ends, physically, where am I, and how do I get here to where we start? That's definitely a part of my process.
Yeah, and well, it's exciting because you said different universes, and I was like, well, now she gets to worry about different universes.
Right. Like now, should there be more going forward, I will certainly have to figure that part out. Spoiler alert. But
Yeah, totally. But for you, that scene in particular, I think fans were excited for a multitude of reasons, mainly because we all started geeking out. That those of us who like the X-Men were like, that's animated series.
that is it's happening. Well, we think, we got a little taste of it.
But for you, was that something that was like, oh, I'm excited about this because I know people are gonna be excited, or are you kind of removed from the Marvel fandom as an
No,
act?
I'm a part of the fandom, but I will say I don't know all the different aspects. Now that we're bringing in other universes, I will have to learn about that. But I did not know this was happening when we filmed it. I filmed with an actor who was in a lab coat, and I thought that was the scene. And then later, it's like, surprise, surprise. So I was also shocked and very excited with the rest of the world.
Like, wait, hold on, I didn't meet Kelsey Grammer in this.
Right. Yeah. But no, I think it's an awesome twist, a surprise. I hope that they'll do more with it and we could see Monica over in that universe. But who knows? There's a lot going on. So who knows?
Well, and that also leads into my other question about, Monica's relationship to her mother is one that has been important from the moment we kind of meet Maria and Monica Rambeau on until now this. When you are, you were kind of separate. You didn't have to necessarily like work with Lashana and build that until kind of this. And I think in WandaVision, you guys like maybe have a scene.
Uh-uh.
No, she's not. You just come into the hospital and she's already gone. That's right.
She's gone. Yeah.
What was it like having that where it's, you guys are in the reverse position from when we get to kind of see Monica come back after the blip?
What do you
Because
mean verse position?
she's in the chair where Monica was.
Oh, right, right, right.
Back.
Okay. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
in
yeah.
reverse.
She's waiting on me, but it's not her. Yes. Okay. I think it's so cool. Lashana's such a dope actress and woman. And so again, filming that scene, I thought this is the big reveal. Like, oh my gosh, it's my mama. And then there was the beast. But it was also an exciting reveal because now you have these two women in Monica's mind reconnecting, but in reality, just meeting each other. So I think there's so much to explore with that. I love like at this point, I think Lashana's character has shown up in three or four different universes. So, who knows? But this would be exciting to see both of these black female super powered women in this universe and what they can accomplish, what they can get into, etc. So I think that's really freaking dope.
Yeah, I do love that just keeps popping up because I love
Like,
Lashana Lynch.
hello,
I'm
I'm
like,
a new one now.
like, yay, Lashana Lynch is back. But
Yes.
also, what I do love about the Marvels as a movie is like you have Kamala, who is obsessed with Carol, who is kind of what Monica was in that first Captain Marvel movie. But then you have Monica, who's like, no, I'm actually furious with her. I'm not calling her my aunt. I'm not doing anything with her. And Carol, who's kind of in between, like, I'm just confused on the whole front.
In my own.
You, yeah, she's like, I don't know what's going on with either of these women. But for you, when you get to kind of play with those dynamics in something like a superhero movie, how is it for you as an actor? Like, is it fun to get to also have those very grounded moments while, shooting guns at aliens and like being on other planets?
Oh, for sure. For me, it's what anchors the all of the fantastic imagery and scenery that we eventually get to see because you're talking to a real human. A lot of the times what's happening excuse me, sorry, in these scenes in these movies, you're hanging from wires in a big warehouse with a blue screen behind you. So in order for you to actually have the scene, you're not talking to another person, you're talking to a tennis ball. And so anytime I can talk to a real person and have that kind of connection and it really be about the emotion and what's actually happening between them, I think is really special and what anchors a film like these types of films.
And I do have a question about the probably the most iconic scene in this movie that everyone like thinks about. How did you guys do the cat thing? Because there's no cats. I recognize that there is not a cat in in that scene, but like,
Which one? In the which
where
part?
all of the cats? They have to save all of these cats.
No, there were cats.
There were real cats.
We had real cats. There were like a base amount of real cats, and then the rest we acted like were there. So I don't know exactly which part you're talking about, but there were real cats on
I just
set.
thought they were all CGI'd. I was like,
No,
there's
no,
no
no.
way these are real cats.
No, we did have a few real cats, and the majority of them are CGI, but no, because I was like, please keep the cats away. As cute as they are, they scratch, and no thank you. So yeah, there were definitely real cats.
Oh man, that makes me so happy. Listen, cats give a bad rap. I have one. He doesn't scratch. He just sits around and is
He don't
boring.
scratch you, but let somebody else come over there, he might scratch them. So I don't want to find out. Mm-mm.
I do. That is one of my favorites just because it's outrageous. And I do love when the MCU gets to be outrageous, which you kind of now know well, because every property you are in seems to have that kind of like weird vibe to it.
I'd agree with that.
Is that exciting for you that that is kind of now Monica's thing, is that she has this weird tendency to be in like, either a TV show and or now chasing cats around a spaceship?
The cats, but ending up in a universe that's been created by someone's grief and or not a universe, in her own bubble, that's pretty cool. Like just the way they thought that through and how her grief was manifesting into these different episodes and genres like that was really dope. Now these cats that Monica ended up with, or the Flurkins, I should say,
Yeah, they are
that,
Florkins.
they do Goose has been a part of her life for a long while. So let me not speak like this for Monica. This is Teyonah's feelings coming out. Like Tiana is like, these dang cats, man. Okay. But Monica, she loves Goose. She does.
Yeah, Goose and or Chewy if you were still committed to the comic name of
That
it.
part, yes. Yeah.
I do have she's over there. I can't find her. I have the 70s Monica on like a panorama right there.
Oh, so
It's a
cool.
little, it's like this
Does
big.
she have her wings, her cape?
No, it's just the 70s. So it is like
Oh,
where she's in
70s
the
from the
blue.
WandaVision in the
Yeah.
blue fish pants and stuff. Oh,
Because it's a
from
little
the
like
show.
all WandaVision. So it's like the little, she's
Oh,
real tiny on a couch. But for my last question, I obviously want to see Monica again, and I know I'm not alone. What do you hope Monica gets? Well, we know where she is, but what do you hope we get to explore with Monica in the future?
I hope that we get to see her just continue to grow, continue to find herself. I want the audience to get to know her a bit more intimately, in the ways that like what actually makes her tick, because when we see her, she's always in crisis mode, go mode. So I would love to just get to know her a little bit more intimately and casually. But it's a superhero movie, so yeah, it's like stakes are so high immediately. So just go, which is also exciting. So I do hope she gets to be more in that world as well and keep saving folks and just being the smart, compassionate, kind woman she is.
Yeah, I want to see her back so much. Thank you so much for talking with me again.
So
WandaVision is one of my favorite things on this planet. So it
thank
was
you.
great talking with you. And
Thank
of
you. Thank you so much.
course, I can't wait for people to see the Marvels if they haven't seen it because I had a
Yes.
blast.
Please, it is now streaming and on digital and Blu-ray, and it's a lot of behind the scenes footage and bonus scenes and extras, and I believe a director's cut. So
Yeah.
yes, there's so much to see. So I hope that you all will go see it.
I know. I've been seeing all the online. Everyone's like, "This movie's really good." Actually, I'm like, "Yeah, correct. We all were aware.
Thanks.
This is not a universal thing."
Oh, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
But thank you. Have a great one.
Bye, Rachel.